Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Joe back with another motherfucking video, man. It's WrestleMania Saturday, man. Can we clap it up? Can we clap it up? Can we clap it up? Hold on. Can we? Got my Jey Uso shirt on, man. It's WrestleMania Saturday, man. And for this video, we don't got a gameplay. We don't got no gameplay today. I know. The gameplay been going crazy. The clips been going crazy. But nah, today we're gonna do a little something different. Like I said before in the last video, I did mention talking about what my predictions for WrestleMania would be. And I thought, you know what? Why not? Hey, why not? I see everybody else making their prediction videos. Why not let me come on the tube and make a little prediction video? So I was like, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. So that's what we're gonna be doing in this video. We're gonna be giving our WrestleMania 41 predictions, man. Listen, I'm very excited for this WrestleMania, man. Very excited. Some of the builds we're gonna get into, some of them were a little bit iffy, but nonetheless, I'm a fan. And whenever Mania season come around, we all know how it gets. So we're gonna do our full predictions, match by match, night by night, what I think is gonna happen, and if I have a little bit of a nasty take, how I think all of it is gonna happen. So without further ado, enough of this talking. Let's get straight into the predictions. First match that we're gonna talk about, and I'm pretty sure this is kicking off Saturday night, is Gunther versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, I've said it in my last video, which will be in the link in the bio, if you want to go watch that video, man. It's just dropped. So, we drop it back to back. But yeah, nonetheless, I'm pretty sure you could tell by the shirt who I'm rooting for. But it's not about who I'm rooting for. It's about what I feel like the result of the match needs to be. Now, the build to this match to start off was pretty somber. It was a pretty slow build. Nothing really too interesting about it. And that could all be a play on the fact that after Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble, they took a turn and made him announce that he would be facing Gunther a little bit too fast when we had extra weeks going into this WrestleMania, which made them have to pivot and do like weird stuff with a World Heavyweight Championship build. You had Gunther going up against Alpha Academy. You had Gunther just fighting people that he can easily beat. Same with Jey. He was facing Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. I don't even understand how they even got into the fold of that build. But that was the start of that build. And then it got picked up more when Gunther basically left Jimmy Uso in a bloody mess, attacked him in front of Jey while Jey was handcuffed on the ropes. That gave a nice little story arc of Jey becoming a serious wrestler. They did a little bit thing where Jey was starting to forget who he was, started to act like he didn't even know how to wrestle, which was cool. But once you inserted Jimmy Uso into the rivalry, added a different layer that made everything much better. But getting into the prediction after all of that, I think Jey Uso is going to win. He's going to walk out of this match as the World Heavyweight Champion. I don't really have a particular thought of how he's going to win. I think he's going to pull it out after Gunther literally beats the hell out of him. And I think Jey Uso has to win. Out of every match on this card, I feel like Jey Uso is the one who has to win this match. He's the one who would lose the most if he loses this match. Gunther losing, guys, it's Gunther, bro. We've seen what he's done with the Intercontinental Championship. We've seen what he's done in his reign as World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther can move on to a different build. He could probably build himself up without a title, see how that works. But I'm pretty sure Gunther's going to be fine. He just signed a new deal. He is a star. He's going to be okay. But now, right now, Triple H, if you're listening, if you're watching, it's time to give it to Jey Uso, bro. He already lost 3 times to Gunther. You can't make it a 4th, or Jey Uso is done, bro. There's no yeet. There's no yeet movement. There's no nothing. He's going to be relegated to just nothing. He's going to be no yeet. It's going to be no yeet, bro, because who's going to yeet after he just lost to Gunther a 4th time at Mania, bro? It doesn't make any sense. So I'm going with Jey Uso on this prediction. Next match, we're probably going to talk about it really quickly, is going to be Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. My personal thoughts, I think the build to this has been okay. It's been an okay build considering the fact that what are they working with? I'm pretty sure I would say it's an okay build for what they're working with. We all know it's Chad Gable. Spoiler alert, it's Chad Gable, bro. Like, So I think it's kind of cool that Chad Gable, after last year not getting that Mania match, to give it to Sami Zayn to beat Gunther. I think it's kind of cool to see that Chad Gable is getting his Mania match this year, but under a mask, which was kind of weird. I did think they was gonna do a mask versus mask match for this, but they didn't go that route. It's just gonna be a regular singles match. If I had to predict this match, I think Rey Mysterio is coming out with the win. Just give him a nice little WrestleMania win. They're gonna give Rey Mysterio a match every single WrestleMania that's that. So honestly, I'm just gonna go Rey Mysterio here. Chad Gable, you'll figure it out. I'm pretty sure Rey Mysterio is gonna mask him during the match and reveal who it is. So yeah, that's my prediction for that match. The next match we're moving on to is LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship. Now, let me say something real quick. Shout out to how WWE has been pushing the living hell out of Jacob Fatu. He looks like a star. He feels like a star. The way he walks, the way he talks, bro, he's amazing on the mic. That's very something that I would say is very underrated that people don't usually talk about because he is a dominating presence. So I think Jacob Fatu is the full package. You already been pushing him as the full package. I understand LA Knight. I love him too. He's a great wrestler, great performer. Yeah, he does all that great stuff. But if you're pushing somebody, you're ready to put the rocket on that person's back, you got to finish the job. And I think Jacob Fatu is walking out as the United States champion. The only way, though, that I don't see him winning is if the bloodline gets involved, Solo Sikoa, and basically causes him the match. That's the only way I see LA Knight winning. But I hope they don't do that. I hope Jacob goes into this match, completely beats LA Knight clean, and walks out as the United States champion. That is my prediction for that match. Now, moving on to a match that I'm also going to talk about pretty quickly is the New Day versus the Viking Raiders. My biggest gripe with this match being on Mania is on SmackDown side, we had an amazing tag team championship build with the Street Profits. We had it with DIY. We had it with Motor City Machine Gun. We had it with Pretty Deadly. Like that whole build, combining all those teams, you could have pulled the trigger and did a ladder match at Mania. You could have did a TLC match at Mania. That would have been a great nostalgic to go back to the years when we had a TLC match for the tag team championship at Mania. It would have been a great tag team match to include on the card. Instead, we're going to get that at the next SmackDown, which the crowd did boo in Las Vegas. The crowd did boo down in Las Vegas, and rightfully so, because if you had a great tag team build already, why relegate it to an episode of SmackDown and throw this match on the card, which I'm going to be completely honest, I'm not sold on this heel New Day at all, and I'm not really sold on the Viking Raiders and the tag team championship reign, as they barely been on TV. They've barely been defending the championship. So honestly, I'm not really that excited for this match. The only way my excitement level can be there for this match is if somehow, some way, we get a Biggie Langston return. I don't know why I added Langston at the end of that. We get a Biggie return. I'm sorry, I'm a hardcore fan, so I immediately thought of Biggie Langston. But yes, we get a Biggie return. I think that is a possibility, but I'm not gonna bank all my money on it. That's probably the only way the War Raiders will win if Biggie did return. But other than that, my full prediction is that the New Day is gonna walk out as tag team champions, and hopefully that makes their heel run look a little bit more meaningful than what it's been looking right now. Next match that I'm actually very excited to talk about is Naomi versus Jade Cargill. First off, I want to clap it up for the simple fact that we're getting two African American women in a match at Mania without any championship involved. This is a women's rivalry without no championship involved, without any shenanigans. It's just a straight blood feud between these two. The way that they've built this feud up has been amazing. Stellar performance by Naomi, who really is going into this heel role. I did not like Naomi as a face, and that was just me personally. I couldn't stand her as a face. But her doing this proceed with caution, this obsession with Bianca, this obsession with just destroying Jade, and Jade looking like the badass that she is, just going after Naomi. And the clash is just the build to this makes the clash a little bit more intriguing. Now, my prediction for this match is I think Naomi walks out as the winner, surprisingly. I think turning Naomi heel. I think they got to capitalize on this, push this any way that they can. I think Jade will get it back at Backlash, honestly. She'll probably get the match then, and then she'll probably win the rubber match at the end of it. I think they're gonna have a 3-match feud. That's my personal opinion on it. But I think at Mania, you gotta give this new heel Naomi the big win. And Naomi will come up on a later prediction that I do have. So we're gonna be talking about Naomi again, but that's for a different prediction. But I got Naomi winning this match. Now, the next match that we're gonna talk about. Oy vey. This match that we're about to talk about is between Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair for the Women's Championship. Now, listen, this build has been messy. This build has been nasty. This build has gone off script. This build has just been all over the place. It's been hard to follow at times. It's just been a mess. The only way that you're going to fully understand this build is if you go on Twitter and you read all the dirt sheets. That's how messy this build has been. And it's nothing new for Charlotte Flair, as when it comes to her and WrestleMania builds with other women, she's not really the best, honestly. She has a history of this, and we're clearly seeing it right now with Tiffany Stratton. She's trying to belittle Tiffany, trying to keep Tiffany down because, she is the younger competitor in Charlotte. Charlotte just feels like she's the one, man. She doesn't want to give the spotlight to anybody else, and that's exactly what's been going on in this feud. And Tiffany has had enough of it. That's why a lot of this stuff has been going on between the two, and it just makes me question how well they're gonna work when it comes to the outcome of Mania. Now, going back to the messiness of this, their little promo that they had on that one episode of SmackDown in Chicago, I really feel will cause a ripple effect on who wins this match. Now, it was really challenging for me to sit here and pick a winner. If it was the Vince days, I would automatically say Charlotte is winning. But since we're in this Triple H era, I think Triple H might forget everything that happened between the promo, and I think that he's going to give Tiffany Stratton the win. I got Tiffany winning this match and basically, proving Charlotte wrong, shutting her up, and basically creating a star from this match with Tiffany Stratton. Now, I hope Triple H realizes that this face Tiffany Stratton is not working. It's just not working. I don't like Tiffany Stratton as a face. I think she's a natural heel. I think that's where he has to keep her. Maybe hopefully after she beats Charlotte, that she'll just, become more cocky and get back into that heel factor. Because the only reason she's really face is because she cashed in on Nia Jax. That's the only reason why we consider her face, and because she's going up against Charlotte. But I just think that a heel Tiffany will be better moving forward. I think Tiffany Stratton walks out of this match as the champion. If Charlotte wins, then honestly, that just tells us who really got punished in the situation, honestly. Because somebody has to get punished, because I'm pretty sure no one WWE, they wouldn't let something slide. That would be my second take on it. But main prediction, I got Tiffany Stratton winning this match. Now, we're at the main event of night one. And I want y'all to know, this main event is a little bit emotional for me. I have two people in this match that I consider my GOATs of wrestling. I consider the people that make me love wrestling. One of them is the person who got me when it comes to wrestling. It's CM Punk, bro. CM Punk's in this match. You got the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns in this match, and you have Seth Rollins. Nah, let me stop. Let me not do that to Seth. But yes, it is the triple threat main event for night one. CM Punk versus Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. Now, guys, I think out of all the builds for Mania, this has been the best build out of every build. This is an A+ build. From the promos, from the actions, from the storytelling, from way back when CM Punk came back. Not even from when CM Punk came back. From the storytelling of CM Punk bringing the Shield into the WWE, from just bringing callbacks to that. Callbacks to how Paul Heyman said he would eventually walk CM Punk down the aisle when he gets his first WrestleMania main event. It's like everything that happened is becoming a full circle moment, which is creating this magic that we're seeing on our TV screen. And I think having it be the culmination at the main event of night one of WrestleMania 41 is just like, you couldn't write something as perfect as this. Like, this is perfect. Like, this is a perfect situation. I know a lot of people are saying, hey, we're having a triple threat match, no stakes, no championship, none of that. A lot of people thought that whoever won this match should move on to the John Cena Cody Rhodes match, which I completely disagree with. I think these three having this just blood feud, just triple threat, just to take each other down. I just think it's been a great story. It's the best story on the card, in my opinion. So I just think I'm very excited about this. Is the most excited match that this is the match I'm most excited for, and this is the match that I believe will be the best match at Mania. That's my prediction on it. But enough of that rambling. Now let's get into the full prediction of what I think is gonna happen. Honestly, I got CM Punk winning this match. I think the person who's the least likely to win this match is Roman Reigns. I think because of the fact that Roman Reigns has won countless times WrestleMania after WrestleMania after WrestleMania, holding the championship. I think, he doesn't need this win. I got CM Punk winning. I think CM Punk is winning for the simple fact that he's going to go on to face in a rivalry whoever wins between Cody and John Cena, which we will get to later on in the predictions. But I think CM Punk is walking out of this match as the victor. Why I say that this is going to happen? I believe Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns are going to cost each other the match because of their hatred for each other. Like we've been revisiting during this whole feud, Seth has been telling Roman that, hey, Roman, you underestimate CM Punk. And then Seth's obsession with Roman is going to get in the way of his obsession with CM Punk during the match. And it's going to cause a whole ripple effect. And I think CM Punk is going to be the victor of this match. I think it's his first WrestleMania main event. Why not give him the win in this match? I think it would be a perfect way for him to get, something that I feel like he deserved when he was in the company prior. So I think CM Punk's going to win. The Paul Heyman effect of it, because now Paul owes Seth this weird favor because he didn't kill him. The whole favor with Punk, and how does it all tie in with Roman? My honest opinion, I don't think Paul is going to turn on anybody. I think it's going to become to the point where either Paul gets taken out of the match or he walks out on his own because he's not going to go against any of them. So I think Paul excludes himself out the match. He'll walk CM Punk down. He'll be there for a little bit. He'll help out here and there. But when it really gets to the thick of it, when he has to pick between the two, he's just going to walk away because he's not going to pick between them. So I think that's my general prediction for that. And I think CM Punk is going to walk out as the victor of this match. But talking about Seth Rollins, we're going to talk about him a little bit later because I might have a wild prediction with Seth Rollins at Mania. But we're going to get to that when we get to night 2 of WrestleMania. All right, we are on night 2 of WrestleMania for the predictions. And the first match that we're going to be looking at is AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. Probably going to speed through this one. I think AJ Styles is winning. Feud hasn't really been exciting. Feud hasn't really got my juices flowing in my body. It hasn't really done anything for me. I just think AJ Styles is walking out of this match. I don't really see Logan. Logan doesn't really need the win, in my opinion. I think AJ Styles would do much better in this, considering the fact, the clock is winding down on AJ Styles. It doesn't really make no sense to not give him a win here at Mania. So I think AJ Styles will walk out as the victor of this match. Moving on to the next match, we got Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Lyra Valkyria and Bayley for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Now, listen, I love the women's division with all my heart. I'm going to be real. I'm happy that the woman is getting an opportunity. I'm going to be real. They got to scrap these titles, man. They got to scrap the tag team title. They got to scrap the Intercontinental title. And they just got to scrap the United States Championship. It does not have to do anything with the woman at all. It has to do everything with how they're booking these women. Why the fuck? Yes, I'm about to get real serious about this. Why the fuck did you even introduce mid-card championships if they're not even going to be defended at the biggest show of the year? Like, I understand how they've been doing the builds. I understand, like, hey, where do you slot them in? Where do you do that? But it's like, bro, you don't have the depth in any of these shows to be having these mid-card titles in the first place. Because in my honest opinion, you could have just did, I don't know, like a women's triple threat for the Intercontinental Championship with Lyra Valkyria, Bayley, and maybe Liv, throw Liv in there. That would have been something that would have got fans a little bit more excited. You got everybody on the card. It would have been something cool. And I understand you're doing it with the Women's Tag Team Championship. And I'm pretty sure these women are going to have a good match. But, bro, I'm getting sick and tired of how they're booking these championships with the women, bro. Like, there was no reason to bring in these titles if it was the booking was going to be like this. I'm going to be completely honest with you. In terms of who I think is going to win, I think Liv and Raquel are going to still keep the championships. They're going to walk out Mania still be in the championships. Bayley and Lyra are filler tag team. I don't think they're just going to drop the title on a filler tag team. So Liv and Raquel are walking out of Mania as champions. Now we are moving on to the Fatal 4-Way, which I have as the second best match on the card. It will be the second best match on the card. Wait, wait. Yes, I got it as the second best match on the card. So we got Braun Breaker, Penta, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship Fatal 4-Way. I'm very excited to see all these talents in this match. Another great build for Mania. I don't know. When it comes to the multi-people match, I feel like the builds have been much better. They have much more substance. They have much more character development through the build. So I just think, and they have much more room to wiggle after the fact of the match as well. So I think they've been doing a good job with the multi-man builds or multi-woman builds. So my honest opinion on who should, this is who I think should win this match, is Dominic Mysterio. Yes, I think Dirty Dominic Mysterio needs to walk out of WrestleMania with the Intercontinental Championship. I think it would be one of those amazing heat. I think the fans are actually wanting it to happen too, and I think it's gonna happen by him pinning Finn Balor. They've been telling the story of this weird animosity between Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio. I think it all culminates here at WrestleMania. Braun Breaker will be fine. Penta will be fine. Finn, hey, bro, somebody gotta take the pin. And storyline purposes, and you're just Finn Balor, bro. Lay down on that mat. Let Dominic pin you, and let Dominic walk out of WrestleMania as the Intercontinental Championship champion. Because I know everybody just wants to see that, bro. So yeah, Dirty Dom for the win, man. We got Dirty Dom winning, man. Now, this match was announced on SmackDown. Well, it's not really a match that's announced, but Randy Orton is having an open challenge. We're gonna talk about this briefly. Who I think is gonna accept the open challenge, and why I think that person's gonna accept the open challenge. To be honest with you, I think any person that's facing Randy Orton might win the match, honestly. So, and who I think is gonna come out, I do see them just because they're coming back, feel good match. I think they're just gonna give them the win. I think Rusev is gonna face Randy Orton at WrestleMania. Now, at first I said I thought it was gonna be Aleister Black. I thought Aleister Black was the clear choice, but then we saw that vignette that said 425-25. That just ruled Aleister Black for me. Now, second choice for me could be Nick Aldis. I think Nick Aldis might take the challenge, but I highly doubt it. To be fair, I highly doubt it. I think they're gonna do a huge debut. They're gonna do Rusev, get Rusev against Randy Orton. I think it will be, it would be an okay match. Like I think Rusev and Randy Orton could put on a good match. Rusev returning to WWE, I'm actually excited about that. Like I was always a Rusev Day guy, so now why not bring him back to the company now? If we're in this whole new era of WWE, maybe he get a push. Who knows? But I think it will be Randy Orton versus Rusev at WrestleMania. Now we're moving on to the Sin City Street Fight between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. I'm gonna just go straight into it. This has been a great build, but I think Drew McIntyre is walking out of this match as the winner. I think Damian Priest will be okay if the loss happens. I think Drew McIntyre is gonna win this match, and it's gonna lead into another match, same way that Seth Rollins is leading. I feel like you all know where I'm kind of going with this, because I feel like Drew McIntyre and Seth are gonna play into a plot that it's a wild prediction. It's a wild prediction, I know, but it's gonna play into a plot that I think is gonna go on later on in night two. But we're just gonna move on to the next match, straight into the next match. Rhea, Bianca, and Io Sky. Now, I said the multi-people match have great builds. This has been another good build. I think the storytelling in this build has been stellar. I think the women in this match are going to put on an absolute show. I think it's going to be the third best match on the card. Who I think is going to win, I don't think Rhea is winning. I don't think Io is winning. I think Bianca Belair is walking out as the women's world heavyweight champion with the help of Naomi. Yes, I don't know if you guys have noticed. Fans have actually turned on Bianca Belair because of their love for Rhea Ripley. I don't know what's been going on. It's been ever since they went to the out of the states and they went to all the countries. They just started booing Bianca Belair. I don't know, like, if they see through the lies and deception in her eyes. Maybe she did attack Jade. Maybe she is still working with Naomi. We don't know what it is, but regardless, I think we're gonna get a heel Bianca. We're gonna get a heel turn. And it's all going to be due to the fact that Naomi is going to help Bianca win that championship, to win Bianca's heart. I think that's what's going to happen. And it's going to set Jade off. And it's going to be a whole catastrophic collision. I think that's what's going to happen at Mania. I think Bianca getting a big Mania win like this will set her into the stratosphere, especially as a heel. We've been waiting for heel Bianca for so long. And I think if WWE is going to pull that trigger to do it, what better time than now? Let's get heel Bianca as the women's world heavyweight champion. Now we are at the main event of the night. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. The last WrestleMania, John Cena. We're getting Cody Rhodes versus John Cena for the WWE Undisputed Championship as the main event of night 2, the main event of the whole WrestleMania. Listen, I have such split feelings about the build to this match because, John hasn't been here. He has his own stuff to go on. But when he has been here, it's been great back and forth between the two. It's been great promo work. It's been all those fantastic things. Hasn't, but nothing really stands out like compared to like the other amazing builds that I mentioned before. Between the two, it's just been, the mic work and stuff. But the biggest thing that kind of stands out from this rivalry is John Cena turning heel. The new heel John Cena, it's presented a different flavor into this whole rivalry. It's presented a different flavor in WWE in general. Like, this was the biggest heel turn, probably top 2 biggest heel turns in WWE history. So I just think, like, that was the biggest part of the whole plot. John Cena, selling his soul essentially to The Rock and, becoming this bad guy. And he just wants to, what he said, ruin the WWE. And my prediction is he is going to ruin the WWE. I think John Cena is leaving WrestleMania as the WWE Undisputed Champion. And just like last year, we're going to get all the shenanigans. We're going to get all the WWE 2K25 run-ins that you could possibly think of. We're going to see Stone Cold. I'm going to predict it. We're going to see Stone Cold. We're going to see Travis Scott. I know he's going to show up. Travis Scott is going to show up, and Cody is going to smack the shit out of him because he's going to get that receipt. Trust me, he is going to get that receipt. We're going to see The Rock. I'm pretty sure The Rock is going to show up. We're going to get a whole bunch of shenanigans. But the shenanigans that I think we're going to get is finally the introduction to what I think is going to be a new faction, the Corporation. This is a thought that I had in my head. I think if WWE is going to do something big, in order for Cody to lose, they're going to introduce a new heel faction, a new group of people who just sold their souls to the final boss. This group of powerful people that The Rock is going to just use to run the WWE. And going back to my earlier predictions, I think that group is going to have Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre in it, teaming up with John Cena. I think Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre are going to be involved in this match. They're going to cost Cody the championship. They're going to align themselves with The Rock. I know Drew McIntyre already has ties with The Rock. We've already seen it. Drew and The Rock communicate with each other on social media. They got a good relationship. Literally, Drew was in The Rock's new brand doing merchandise, ads for it. So I think Drew is, I think he's a shoo-in. If you're going to do it, I think he's a shoo-in to jump into this. Another person who I think is a sneaky person who could join this too is Logan Paul. I kind of had him in there. I kind of slotted him in there. He could join it. But I think Seth, with how he's been acting lately, when he said best for business and all that stuff, I think him losing the night 1 main event will kind of set him off. And he's going to sell his soul. To basically just to prove a point that, he's tired. He's tired. I think a heel Seth, new change of flavor. We've been seeing him a little bit more heelish on the end. So I think this will be the introduction of the Corporation. You're going to have Travis Scott there, The Rock there, John Cena, Seth Rollins, and Drew McIntyre to end off the night. Cody might be left in a bloody mess, and John Cena's going to walk out. He's going to break the record. He's going to win the 17th World Championship, and I think that's how we end WrestleMania. I think if WrestleMania ends that way, hey, we're talking about competing with last year's Mania. Nah, it might not, but it might. I have high hopes for this Mania, so hopefully it does compete with last year's, just to show that WWE is on fire, man. But ladies and gentlemen, those are my WrestleMania 41 predictions. Comment below what you agree with. Comment below what you guys' prediction is. I'm very interested to hear what you guys think. And comment below if you think my corporation idea is completely nuts or if it's off the rails. And honestly, just let me know what match you're looking forward to on the card. It was a great time letting you guys into my predictions. It's your boy Joe, and I'm out. Go enjoy WrestleMania Saturday and Sunday. Triple H, last thing, you better make Jey Uso win this motherfucking match. Yeah.